PS5 Pro specs may have leaked, PS5 dominates sales in the UK in November, Marvel's Blade exclusivity gets weird, and Sony may tighten exclusivity with Square Enix. All that and more in today's PlayStation news. Let's get to them. Let's start with new rumors about the potential specs for the PS5 Pro that have appeared online. According to a post on Resetera, the PS5 Pro is expected to feature an AMD Zen 2 CPU with a dynamic frequency peaking at 4.4 GHz, a Radeon custom RDNA 3 GPU with a target frequency of 2 GHz and 14 to 29 teraflops, and 16GB DDR6 memory at 576GB per second bandwidth. It may also include an XDNA 2 NPU for AI-focused capabilities, aiming to deliver stable upscale 4K output at over 30 FPS. The leak suggests a September 2024 reveal, aligning with previous rumors. There's been a lot of comments about these specs and some people don't believe them to be the real thing, so take them with a grain of salt. Regardless, insider Tom Henderson commented on Twitter about the post, and it seems that Sony is fully expecting the PS5 Pro specs to leak this month, as they are giving out dev kits to third-party studios. So it seems we're going to be hearing more about this topic very soon. Would you buy a PS5 Pro? Let us know in the comments. The PS5 Pro is far away, so let's focus on how the PS5 is doing, because the console commanded the sales charts in the UK last month. According to the GfK report via Game Industry, the PS5 represented almost half of the 486,000 consoles sold in the region in November, including Black Friday sales. The total number represents a 12% increase over the same period last year. PS5 was first and experienced 150% growth over the last month and 126% against last year, this being the first time that PS5 consoles were ready for the holiday season instead of sold out. Xbox followed with sales for Series X and S increased by 231% against last month, but only 4% against 2022. And the Switch was third, growing by 175% against October 2023, but it was the only console to experience a decline, 19% against last year. Moving into games, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 easily took the top spot, but it's not all good news for Activision, since the title is 38% down in sales compared to Modern Warfare 2. The rest of the chart had EA Sports FC 24, still slightly under FIFA 23 sales last year, Hogwarts Legacy boosted by the Switch release, Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Football Manager 2024, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Mario Kart 9, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Grand Theft Auto 5. A total of 4.55 million games were sold, with 1.66 of them during Black Friday week, led by EA Sports FC 24, but despite that it was a 3% drop against last year, which saw God of War Ragnarok and 2 Pokémon games launching. As for accessories, over 1.2 million were sold, which is a 118% increase over October this year, but a 3.5% drop against 2022. The PlayStation Portal entered the chart as an accessory in the 5th spot. Let's keep talking about sales, but now for God of War Ragnarok, as Santa Monica announced that the title has achieved a new sales milestone, surpassing 15 million copies sold globally across both the PS5 and PS4 platforms as of November 19. The announcement was part of their post-Game Awards blog post talking about the free Valhalla DLC, which launches later today, made to show appreciation for the incredible support from fans. The new DLC will act as an epilogue to Ragnarok and introduce a mode where players take on challenges, with the combat now featuring roguelite elements. Moving on, Google has revealed the list of the top 10 most searched video games in 2023, with Hogwarts Legacy, the open-world spin-off of the Harry Potter series, claiming the top spot. The Last of Us secures second place, likely due to the success of the HBO TV adaptation, which by the way was the most searched TV show. The rest of the list includes Connections, Battlegrounds Mobile India, Starfield, Baldur's Gate 3, Suka Game, a mobile title popular in Japan, Diablo 4, Atomic Heart, and Sons of the Forest. Let's circle back to The Last of Us, since the HBO adaptation just made history by becoming the first live-action video game adaptation to receive nominations at the Golden Globes. The show has been nominated in 3 categories, including Best Performance by a Female Actor in a Television Series Drama with Bella Ramsey, Best Performance by a Male Actor in a Television Series Drama with Pedro Pascal, and Best Television Series Drama. I don't follow much TV, so I don't really know which chances they have, but getting recognized enough to make it and become the first to represent video games is a huge deal. The show already won a Game Award last week, so we'll see how they fare against some big names on TV. Now on to another Naughty Dog game adaptation with Uncharted, as actor Mark Wahlberg revealed that a script for Uncharted 2 has been completed, even though Sony has yet to officially announce the movie. In an interview with The Direct, Wahlberg mentioned that Uncharted 2 is still in development, with production exploring various ideas. He jokingly mentioned that the script includes having his character maintain the mustache during the film, a reference to a post-credits scene in the original. The Uncharted movie, released in 2022, earned $139 million globally during its opening weekend, and ended up with over $400 million after 15 weeks, costing only $120 million to make, which made it a success. So it's only a matter of time until we officially hear about the sequel. Moving on, one of the big questions after the Game Awards is whether Marvel's Blade, developed by Microsoft-owned Bethesda and Arcane Leon, is exclusive to Xbox or not. The trailer revealed last Thursday did not have any logos. As of now, it has not been uploaded to the Xbox YouTube channel, unlike all of the other Xbox games that appear there. It has only been uploaded to the Bethesda and Marvel YouTube channels. Microsoft listed the game in the Xbox Wire as part of a recap of the event, but it redirects to Bethesda's blog post where no platforms or exclusivity is ever mentioned. Insiders have also talked about it, with Xbox insider Nick Baker claiming the game is exclusive, while ex-Sony event developer Alex Smith saying the game is not exclusive as a requirement for Marvel games. Axios Gaming Stephen Totilo interviewed Disney's head of gaming Sean Shopto, but since it was before the event there was no talk about it, and when Totilo pressed for more info after the reveal, Disney told him that it was a question for Bethesda. The situation gets weirder since VG247 asked Bethesda directly if the game is exclusive, and the publisher declined to comment. Microsoft Phil Spencer has said many times that Bethesda game exclusivity would be decided on a case-by-case basis, but I've mentioned several times here on the channel that I would prefer the direct approach, since the case-by-case approach only creates confusion. Microsoft should say everything from now on is exclusive, since it's the right to do it. If the game is any good, I would personally play it anyway. Now there's a chance the Redmond company is also playing its cards carefully, since the FTC is back on its heels trying to appeal the Activision purchase, so they are going to be looking very closely. Do you think Microsoft would make a game this important multi-platform? Share your thoughts in the comments. Now let's talk about exclusivity on the other side, since Sony and Square Enix's deal over Final Fantasy games such as 16 or 7 Remake and Rebirth may become even more restrictive in the future. That's according to a post on the Resetera forums by user Head on the Block, previously known as I Am a Hero 2, who has provided accurate information on Japanese titles in the past. It's unknown if he meant that Sony will be requiring longer exclusivity for more Square Enix games, or the long rumor of a possible Square Enix acquisition by Sony as a response to Microsoft past purchases, although the latter is harder to have leaked. Square Enix recently made peace with Xbox after several games escaped the platform, with titles such as Final Fantasy XIV for example, which will arrive on the Xbox Series in 2024, but it appears that it may be harder for the main titles in the series. Exclusives are a necessary evil in the industry, and with Microsoft securing content, Sony will rightfully do so on their end. Main Final Fantasy games may be exclusive on console, but they are also on PC, so there's also that way to access them. In related Final Fantasy XVI news, game producer Naoki Yoshida revealed to Famitsu that the development team for Final Fantasy XVI has disbanded, except those making the DLC. As a result, he said there are no expectations for a sequel or spin-off to the acclaimed PS5 RPG, with the team preferring to put the experience they gathered creating the game world into a new title, rather than extending Final Fantasy XVI. Now let's go for a round of quickfire gaming news. Developer Fntastic abruptly shut down just days after releasing the day before into Steam Early Access, saying it was a financial failure. The game was supposed to reach PS5 after a full PC launch, but it's pretty much cancelled. The company released a statement explaining they invested all the resources into the game, but they have no funding left, while also apologizing if the game didn't meet expectations and thanking everyone who supported them through 8 years. Then it got weird with the company's CEO vanishing from online places, raising suspicions that many have had since this game was announced. Hideo Kojima Connecting Worlds, a documentary exploring the artistic potential of video games through the work of renowned designer Hideo Kojima, is set to premiere on Disney Plus in spring 2024. The film follows Kojima's journey and the power and potential of video games as an art form, with contributions from key figures like George Miller, Guillermo del Toro, and Jordan Peele, giving a glimpse into Kojima's creative process. Roger Clark, the voice of Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2, has advised Lawrence Sullivan, known as the Florida Joker, to use the publicity generated by the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer rather than pursuing lawsuits against Rockstar. That is after Sullivan demanded $2 million from the studio for allegedly using his likeness. In a TikTok video, Clark urged Sullivan not to confront Rockstar, as many have failed in the past, advising him to capitalize on the notoriety and use it to his advantage instead. Arion Cortez, the 18-year-old responsible for hacking Nvidia, Uber and Rockstar Games and leaking the GTA 6 information last year, has vowed to a life of crime after he gets released from jail. Cortez, whose hacks cost $9.3 million in damages, also attempted to blackmail Rockstar Games by threatening to release the GTA 6 source code. He has been in jail since September last year and has now been placed under a 12-week hospital order due to mental illness. Geoff Keighley has acknowledged that winners at the 2023 Game Awards were not given enough stage time to accept their awards, with music and a teleprompter pressing them to wrap it up. Keighley explained on Twitter that the music was indeed playing too fast, but the rule was relaxed as the show went on. However, it's still something they plan to address for future shows. Bandai Namco's upcoming Dragon Ball Sparking Zero reveal at the Game Awards is rumored to boost an extensive roster featuring characters from the original Dragon Ball series to Daima, the upcoming anime. A leaker on Twitter known for Dragon Ball Z News claims the game will have the largest roster in a Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi title, with Bandai Namco's official website mentioning an incredible number of playable characters aligning with the leak. Still, it's a leak, so take it with a grain of salt. Multiversus was taken offline earlier this year in preparation for a 2024 relaunch, but nothing has been heard since then, and the game was not at the Game Awards. However, the game may soon be back according to McDonald. Twitter users in Belgium have spotted an ad for upcoming Happy Meal toys on the game, which may be a part of WB Games advertising to reach a broader audience upon relaunching. We end this episode with some sad news, as Free Radical Design, the UK-based studio responsible for the TimeSplitters series, has been closed, with the future of the franchise uncertain. The closure was hinted at last month, and is now confirmed as the studio replaced its website with a 404 company not found message, and multiple developers posted farewell messages on LinkedIn, revealing that around 80 remaining staff members have been let go. This round of layoffs adds up to a total of over 9,000 people having lost their jobs within the gaming industry this year. Here's hoping for the best for those affected. And those are the PlayStation stories for today. What are your thoughts on them? Let us know in the comments below, give this video a thumbs up or down to let me know your feedback, check out more content you may like as well, and subscribe for more on PlayStation. Thank you so much for watching, my name is Joseph, this is Hype for Games, and let's get hype!